Welcome to the Over the Vast Nurseries YouTube channel. As you see here in my garden, spring is definitely on the way and the hellebores are looking absolutely gorgeous on this lovely sunny morning. It's just great to be outside. Now here in the garden we grow several types of what's commonly known as the Lenten rose. Beautiful with all of their colours, very easy to grow, hardy, reliable, remarkably heat tolerant during the summertime, and most importantly of all, in this part of our woodland garden, not bothered by deer. So they're great plants, as you see, for bringing really easy to look after colour that's reliable into our gardens in the early part of the year. And because the flowers on these plants are made up of what's known as sepals, it means that, which are kind of modified leaves, it means that they last a long time too. So as you can guess, we are big fans of hellebores in our gardens in this region. But today I wanted to show you this very special variety that we have growing here. This is Helleborus Anna's Red, part of the Frostkiss series. In fact, this lovely variety with its bright crimson red flowers here on these flowers that are, as you see, standing out very well in this part of the garden and showing off their vertical flowers, really outward facing, unlike many of the other varieties which tend to have nodding heads, and if you want to look at them you kind of have to turn them up like that. But as you see from this lovely variety, they're outward facing and therefore putting on a very nice show. And like I mentioned, these are modified leaves, so they last a long time, at least 2 months of flower colour with this wonderful type of perennial. Hardy, easy to grow and very reliable, definitely one that you might want to look for in some of our partnering garden centres. And with this brilliant eye-catching colour so early in the season, we love to use these in containers and window boxes and things too. Great for putting on patios and decks, or in a pot by the front door, someplace that's going to welcome visitors to your home and provide all of this long-lasting colour at a time when it's often difficult to get plants that are going to look good in containers and still be able to put up with fluctuating temperatures that we get at this time of year. And we love to use them in floral arrangements too. Just pick flowers like this one that's just now reaching its mature stage. You'll see that the immature ones still have these little stamens on here. They're the white things with these little yellow things on the end. When they begin to fall off, when they begin to drop off, that's the stage when you can pick them and use them in your flower arrangements. That way they will last really long. What we found out over the years is that we simply just pick these early in the morning or late in the evening. You just use something like a pair of pruners, or in this case a sharp knife, and just cut them off and then put them in water overnight, and then the next morning when you're doing it, then make a quick kind of diagonal cut like I'm making here, and that way you're exposing the maximum cambium to the water. It'll take up the water and you'll find that they will last really long as flower arrangements in your home too. But there's another aspect to this plant I want to tell you about too, and that is, as well as having this free flowering, strong, vigorous habit and putting on a great show, it also has spectacular variegated foliage. Right now the venation here, this net variegation on the leaves, is showing up as a kind of silvery light green color, but when the young leaves emerge first in the early part of the year, they come out with spectacular colour. And that's one of the critical things about this series, the Frostkiss series, that was developed by a man called Rodney Davy, the man they call the Helleborus magician. Now, he had a nursery in Devon in southwest England, and it took him 12 years of patiently crossing 3 different species to be able to develop these plants with this lovely variegation. But also he was the first, in fact, he was the one who succeeded in getting coloured flowers into hellebores with its net variegation. Prior to that, there were some that had variegation on their leaves, but they were always white or creamy coloured. Rodney managed to get this colour into his series, and that's what makes them so special, because they give you tremendous long colour period with all of these flowers. But then, even when they're not in flower, the foliage gives off this terrific evergreen presence in the garden. Easy to grow in just an average garden soil, as long as it's free draining. These are plants that when you put them in the ground, you dig a good generous sized hole. In fact, we say that you dig a hole twice as large as the pot that they come in, and 1.5 times deeper. Incorporate lots of organic matter, because they love to get the roots into that retentive moisture structure that comes with adding organic matter to them. And then, importantly, also to put down a layer of mulch, because that helps to keep the roots cooler and retains moisture. And of course, when you plant them first, it's very important that you water them well until the plants get established. Thereafter, as you see, they put on a spectacular show and are definitely well worth having. What's interesting about this particular variety is that it's named for a legendary garden writer. Anna Pavord writes in newspapers and has written several best-selling books as well. And Rodney named this plant after her. And when she admired it first, he said, "It's just as well, because I'm thinking of naming this plant after you." So there you are, a really beautiful, very easy to grow and stunning variety of hellebore that will bring long-lasting and very welcome colour to your garden. So, this is David Wilson. Enjoy your gardening. It's good for us, and it's very good for our environment too.